So yeah, this is a was a huge disappointment because all it's not like okay, I leave the band and okay, we take the next one, no problem. Because it was Arno and me who started this, and suddenly it's was only me, and I had to process things, and I had to think um, how to continue.
I'm Robert Soeterboek. You're watching Live Prog.
But I must have been dreaming just like always. But the wind carries off from the street again. In my eye to remind me again that I was never really there.
Welcome to the LiveProg Podcast.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
call it
having me.
podcast these days. I put them out on Spotify as well, so people can just listen to
Cool.
them as well
Yeah,
as watch
great.
them here on YouTube.
Yeah, so they
And
don't have to see my face.
yeah, but it's a pleasure that we finally get together, Marcus.
Yeah, finally, cool. Yeah,
Yeah, like you just said before we put on the recording, it's been a long time in the planning.
yeah,
And a lot of things happened along the way, but we finally made it. So I'm really happy. Even though it's through a screen to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. A while ago, you posted on social media that La Muerta got over 8 million streams on Spotify.
That's true.
That sounds like a lot, but in the end, how much groceries can you buy for that?
Well, actually, it's a pizza margarita.
Yeah.
But you mean, I mean, 8 million streams. It's to us, it's great. You know, it's a huge number, but we don't get any money from that. But that's not the point. But 8 million people or the streams, I think that's a pretty impressive number, and so I'm a little bit proud of it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at least, a lot of people are listening to the music. That is definitely a very good thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, it's been a while since we saw each other in person.
yeah.
As you just said, in hell.
We met in hell last
We
time.
met in
yeah.
hell. Yeah, Club Hell in Belgium.
Yeah, well,
April
a
24th.
legendary show.
It was a legendary show.
Sold out venue.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for me, it was like the one of the first concerts I've been to in many years. Making my
Sorry
way
to
back into
disappoint you.
back into the prog world, and then
Yeah.
I was planning on going to another show, and then Peter Lindenberg got invited me, if I wanted to come along with him, and so I went with him.
Okay.
And in a way, I'm happy I did, because it was an amazing show.
Yeah, it was a very cozy, tiny.
It was cozy, but
Yeah.
when you were there and you saw the audience, what was going through your mind then?
Well, I think we had shows like this before, but I don't care if the venue is sold out or only 10 people are there. I mean, there were people coming from Italy only to see us, and so I think the concert was cool. We had fun, and I think we really played pretty decent. And so it doesn't matter to me. It's if it's 10 people or it's 1,000 or whatever. Um, uh, I really enjoyed playing the show. Of course, talking about the money and stuff, it's a critical thing. But yeah, it was like an adventure. It was the first time playing that venue, and yeah, something to learn again.
Yeah. It was, well, I mean, based on your performance, it was like a loaded venue. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
played really an amazing show. I loved it. It was it was a great set list
Yeah,
also.
me too. Yeah, I really pretty much enjoyed it. Yeah.
When you go on a tour like that, and at the end of the day, I mean, does it pay off for you to go there, or is it more like to connect with the fans?
This show was more like connecting with people, but the last tour, the Poetry of Rain tour, was pretty successful. It was the most successful tour we've ever done, and financially it was really good for us. I
Yeah.
mean, I still cannot afford a Ferrari or something, but at least we could pay our bills, and yeah, it was a pretty decent tour. And if you go on tour, there's always venues which are not that packed. Like Oberhausen, for example. You know Oberhausen.
Yeah.
We did our first
Yeah, that was the first
infamous
one.
interview on the tour bus. That was sold out, and Rüsselsheim as well, and Munich as well. So it was a really good tour, and yeah, as I said before, the show in Belgium and in Diest was also, from a musical perspective, was really enjoyable for me. But there are people, let it be 10 or 20 people, they pay to see you, and so you have to deliver. And I enjoy playing, so I think it's a win-win situation, even if it's only like 30 people or something
Yeah.
showing up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's good to hear. It's good to hear that you could have a little more than a pizza margarita after the tour. Not a Ferrari, but at least a better pizza. Yeah,
Yeah.
but when such a tour, I can imagine it takes up a lot of time. You have to prepare everything, then you're on the road. Then you have the point when the tour is over. You get home. What do you do then? Do you like take some rest, or do you start working on new projects?
Well, this tour wasn't like 300 days. It was like 14 days or something like that. Um, well, I was when I came from this tour, it was like was very positive about everything, and yeah, working on the next album actually, and making plans for Subsignal. Um, this is the way I work always. It's a continuous flow. I'm always writing and planning stuff with for the band, and yeah, but unfortunately this time was different.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
because as couple of days later, Arno told me that he will leave the band. So this was really short after our last show, which was in Bremen. So this came as a surprise to me, and so from here, we were we were very enthusiastic about the tour, and we got along pretty very good, and we're. While on tour, we made some plans, planning new shows and stuff like that, and then something happens like that. This came as a shock, to be honest.
I can imagine that. I mean, you guys been working together for a very long time. I mean, you guys started working together with
Decades.
Sieges Even.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after Sieges Even, you both started the Subsignal adventure.
Yeah.
So I can imagine, yeah, that will have taken you some time to process the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, considering, like you said, yeah, we started from zero when we invented Subsignal, because Sieges Even, we were in a good way with Sieges Even. But then when we left, was a new band, nobody knew Subsignal. Maybe some of the diehard Sieges Even fans knew my name and Arno's name, but it was like a new band, and we were coming from zero, and yeah, it took a lot of time, work, blood, sweat, and tears. But it was also a very enjoyable process to see something going like this. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not we were not like Iron Maiden or something, but we managed to build this project, and we never had. I mean, we never made big money out of it, but we also never we were never in position that we couldn't pay our bills or something. So during the last years, I really had the feeling that the brand Subsignal was known to maybe not a lot, but to some people, and we had our name in the prog scene. And so, yeah, this was a huge disappointment, because it's not like, okay, I leave the band and okay, we'll take the next one, no problem, because it was Arno and me who started this, and suddenly it was only me, and I had to process things, and I had to think um, how to continue. Will I be ever able to go on? And because Arno has such a unique voice and personality also on stage. You cannot replace a person like him. And so this took some time to think, and yeah.
How is the relationship between you and Arno at the moment?
No, it's not really a relationship. I mean, we don't have a fight or something, but I will be honest, I'm disappointed. I accept his decision. This is, but we are all in our 50s, and it's not like when you start a band in the 20s, okay, things go wrong and you build something new. You have the maybe more the energy, and now you have something that people know. There's something you build up, and it's working. And then at that point, when you do a successful tour, you break it down. This is something I don't understand. Well, I don't have to understand everything, but to me, it's I don't know. So I have no hard feelings against him, but it's not like it's like, okay, great. I don't think it's great. I'm disappointed, and that's all I can say. I accept his decision, and for him, it's maybe the right way, But this feeling of being disappointed is still there, and it's not like not only Subsignal. I mean, when we started back with Sieges Even, I mean all the years is something you simply can forget, But it's a lot of things happening on the way, and memories and stuff. Something you work together, yeah.
Yeah.
And you build it up together, and then it's like a relationship between man, woman, don't know, man, I don't know. It's and then suddenly it breaks up, and there's a feeling of emptiness, and something I had to refill.
Yeah.
To put it that way, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm of course very curious. I mean, you had a lot of time thinking about it and everything about what's going to happen with Subsignal. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, the first impulse was, okay, that's it. I don't have the energy again to introduce a new singer the new singer has to learn the old stuff, and a new personality comes into the band. You have to adapt to that. But on the other hand, the band is a big part of my life, always has been, and something I get a lot of pleasure and positive energy out of. And so I started thinking, okay, I don't want to quit. I want to go on, even though I knew it would be a hard way. And but soon after Arno told me about this decision, I continued writing new stuff, and something like a picture came up in my head, and and we started looking for a singer, and now we have one.
That's good news. You're not going to say it, are you?
No, no, not now. Because we're going to announce it this, I think, in, I don't know, September or something. It's not the only change in the lineup. There's another change in the lineup, and we want to present the whole new thing when everything is really fixed. But we have a singer, and we're now in planning stages for the next album. And maybe, well, we will do a single next month to say hello, we are still alive,
Yeah.
and the plan is to record the next album next year and
Yeah.
do a tour afterwards. So.
How far are you with the writing of the new album?
Well, some songs are finished and some sketches are there, and I don't think it won't be a long process to finish stuff. There's so lots of material. I have to figure out which one should be on the album, which one probably not. And yeah, I think by the end of the year, everything will be ready for recording. And
Okay.
then next year we're going to record it, and then hopefully, at least that's the plan to
Yeah.
release it next.
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
never
Well,
know.
that's
Who
very
knows
good news, of course.
who's leaving the band next?
Yeah. No, it's really yeah, really great to hear that you will continue and that new things are underway. So that's something definitely to look forward to. When you mentioned that you are, that after the tour you already start working on ideas and things, I'm kind of curious, how is your creative process work? How do you work on your music?
Well, that depends. Sometimes I just grab an acoustic guitar, play, then we have an idea, then I transfer to electric guitar, and I start recording the idea, and yeah, then I have a certain, yeah, I mean, I have a certain beat in mind, and maybe a keyboard melody, and then I try to work from there, and then this is like. It's like, yeah, climbing a hill, and you never know how you get and what's behind the peak. And so, yeah, every song is different, but I have my setup here, my recording setup, and this is where I record my ideas. And most of the time, not always, it starts with a little idea on the acoustic guitar, actually, and. I mentioned one new song that we're gonna record as a single. That's at least a plan in my head. And this was something based on a piano idea, and it's not very much based on guitars. So it's different all the time. But I have my setup here, and it's pretty easy to grab an idea and to at least to have it on my computer, and so that I don't lose it.
Is it something that it works like organically, like you get an idea and you start working on it, or do you also set some time apart, like now I'm gonna work on some music?
Actually, I can do that, but most of the time it's more like, inspiration hits you, and then it's like, okay, this sounds cool, and then I go from there. But sometimes I also, it's like more, okay, I open my computer and say, okay, today I'll try to write something. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but yeah, and this is I don't have a real plan for that. This it's hard to describe how you write. It's different. I mean, I write a lot for classical guitar. I'm also planning a solo album, and this is more my my own classical stuff, which is a little bit weird to some ears maybe, but this is something different. This is real. This is a real process of composition. You start writing it down, and this is different than writing for the band. This and it takes a lot of more time, and also if you want to record it, a lot of more preparation. Because if you write a piece for like for the concert guitar, which is 5 minutes long. It's not like you have a chorus and a solo part and intro. So it's many notes, and it takes a lot of time to practice this stuff.
Okay.
So this is kind of different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I did find out that you have one other solo album. I didn't know about that, but I came
Yeah.
across it when I was doing some research. It was back in 1999.
Really, yeah, absolutely. It was just a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah. Why did you make that album?
Yeah, because it was important to me because it's was showed my other side. You know, I played a lot of classical guitar when I left the first time left CGS even after the Sense of Change album, and those were the years where I totally focused on classical guitar and modern classical guitar also, and I was inspired by modern composers like Hans Werner Henze, who was a German composer and of the 20th century. And so this album was something very personal to me. I want to keep it like a little gift for myself. And of course, I knew it was like this is not what the CGS Even listeners would like to hear, but it's something what was very important for me. And yeah, and so it was only like I think 500 copies of that, and I had a little record company at that time where we were focused on those small projects. We did some uh, classical piano recordings and even jazz and stuff like that. And so yeah, and this album was like a document of these years after leaving CGS Even and um, doing the other guitar.
Yeah. And this, I mean, you're working on another one. What got you to work on that?
Well, actually, I'm always writing for classical guitar. I can funny thing, I have here my notebook here, and this is if you see it here,
Okay.
this goes on
Oh,
and on, and so this is I always compose. It's like I don't know, it's like a diary or something, you know, and. So, and to me, there was always the electric guitar and the progressive scene, and this was one thing where I put my interest in, and the classical guitar. This is the other world or the other side of me, and this is a process that never stops. Actually, this was something that pours out of me. I don't know.
yeah. Okay. So I gather that this is a really personal project for you.
Yeah.
How personal is like Subsignal, and how personal was CGS Even? Was
Yeah,
it
of course.
comparable or?
Yeah, it's comparable. It's like I said, it's like I don't know how to describe. It's a different instrument, you know. It's but the same soul, you know. And it's like if you're an artist, maybe you paint and something you sculpturing or something like that. It's but. To me, it's not a big difference, you know. It's just another means of expressing something, and you know, Subsignal and the songs and the lyrics also, of course, it's very personal. And the good thing about a band like Subsignal is when you're able to write lyrics and if you write the words, you know, this is even more personal, I think, you know, and so. I think to me it's great to have this little cosmos around me, and can do this, and I can if I'm stuck with writing a Subsignal song and I say okay, I don't know where this is heading to, I grab my classical guitar and do something on that instrument, or play something by Bach or something, you know. This is um, so yeah. it's to me, I wouldn't separate these two worlds.
Okay, okay. Oh, it's really nice to hear how that work. I had no idea that
Yeah,
you know
if you listen to it, I mean, it's the classical stuff that I'm doing is totally for your ears. It's different,
yeah.
but to me, it's not.
Okay,
It's just another, maybe it's another language.
yeah. I believe the 1999 solo album of yours is on Bandcamp, so I'll put a link in for those who are interested in listening to it.
Yeah, it's also on Spotify.
Okay, okay. So it
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
interesting to hear
yeah.
a different side of you for those who only know the
Like
CGC
people
more
run away.
typical. Yeah, yeah. You did mention the lyrics. It was something that I probably knew, but when I was going through the booklets of the albums in preparing for the interview, I did notice that you also write the lyrics. I mean, and I was like, wait, I knew it, but I forgot, I think. So I was reminded of it. But and what I mentioned is the stories on the music is personal to you. So what kind of stories inspire you to write?
I think that's what inspires me is life. Things going on around in my head and the world around me, and I think this is something that never stops. That's um, yeah. I read a lot. I read a lot of poetry and whatever, and I'm also inspired by movies and stuff and theater and paintings, and so I think there's always a lot of things that you can draw your inspiration from, and and sometimes when I start writing lyrics, it's always maybe a word, maybe a phrase that starts it all. And yeah, it's like lyrics are pretty much the same as writing music. Another language again, it's there's a real language, with words, and the other language is a language without words. It's a language where you write notes and put notes together and form an idea and even a sentence or a book or whatever.
Tonight break is what is left.
When you write, do you write it separated, like the lyrics and the music, or do you write it together, or what's the order
Depends.
in how you do that?
Most of the time, first the music, then the lyrics, but some songs also had lyrics before. I think last album, Marigold, would had most of the lyrics together before the actual song was finished. And we did the thing with Subsignal was always when the song was finished, the music. I sent it over to Arno, and he did like fake vocals, la 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 la, and with a lot of syllables, and so this was the real tough part, because I had to find the exact amount of syllables that he did with his fake vocals, and this was the toughest part of it all, because it's if you write a poem, maybe you have a phrase, but he was singing like this, and it didn't fit, So this was a real challenge sometimes, but also a very enjoyable process, and also on the first and second and third album, there were also lyrics by David, our keyboard player, and Arno also wrote lyrics for one song from La Muerta. Yeah, so you can ask those guys also.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and in I mean, you are inspired by life, so it's I think it's a way of processing things that happen in life and turning them
Mhm.
into a song. Is there a certain story you want to tell with the album?
Well, no, it's not most of it. It's not a certain story. I think that each album has a certain mood, because it's created in a certain period of your own life, and so things that happen during the time subconsciously flow into the music and in the lyrics, and yeah, so I think yeah, each album is a document of that time when you where you at or the point of life where you're at the moment when you're recording or writing the album. Um, yeah, but I think we never. I mean, Beacons was some sort of a not a real concept album, but there was a musical theme going on through the album, and this which interlinked several songs and CG's even not the art of navigating was I think this was the only really concept album that we did, you know, which has a real story, so to speak. You know, it was the story of a man starting from birth and uh, to death.
Okay, so it's not that you're, you know, I mean, if that's the only concept album, then it's more, you know, a collection of songs. It's not per
Yeah.
se
No, it's
to
just a
write a
collection,
story.
like you said. Yeah, it's more like a collection of songs, and yeah, sometimes the themes are quite similar because I drew a lot of from inspiration from my own life and my personal uh, experiences and the way I look at things. And I don't like to write about politics and stuff like that. That's uh, that's not me.
No, 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 no. But I mean, you started writing well, the upcoming album after the tour. With everything that happened in the past, well, let's say in the past year,
Mhm.
did that have an effect on your songwriting?
You have to decide when you hear it. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's not like I had an outburst of aggression or something. Or
We're not
it's
getting a death metal album or something.
yeah, no, no, that's not the point. I'm not angry or something. It's just I think it's a continuation of what I did before. If something sounds different than before, then I don't know. It's maybe some on some subconscious level, you know. But I think the way I write is like I started like I don't know 50 years ago or something.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it hasn't changed.
No, no. Maybe now writing for a different kind of singer. That
I mean, yeah, the thing is, working with a new singer is different because the new singer is doing things differently.
yeah.
And so this was kind of new for me, but it's not a what we have now and what we just recorded is it's very enjoyable and it was pretty easy the working together and yeah, it's something new and yeah, you have to come to the point where you appreciate the new and you have to let go of the past and it's something I hope also for the people who like our music is like you have to be open, you know, it's different and you can't get Arno back. He's was unique, and you can give it a chance if you like it. Great. If you don't like it, it's also okay. You know, this is. But
Yeah.
I think I had to be open-minded as well because I worked with Arno for so many years. You know, and
Yeah.
when I was writing music, I always had his voice in my mind, and I knew what he can do, and I knew exactly what he was capable of, and so this is something new, something different, but took me some time to yeah to appreciate the new. But I think I'm on my way now.
That's good to hear. I always like it that we call our music, the music we love, progressive rock. Progressive
Yeah,
means, you know, it's going forward, it can change.
exactly. Yeah,
But at the
yeah,
same time, when bands change, and I have seen
yeah,
that in the past with several bands, they do
yeah.
something different, and a lot of fans are like, "Why are you doing something different?" You know,
Yeah.
this is not what you
Yeah,
used to do. So,
it's like the new singer of Marillion, you know.
like
The
that,
new
yeah.
guy, the new guy.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of these examples, so it's
Yeah,
funny. It will be interesting to see. I'm very much looking forward to it.
yeah.
Let's go back to a long time ago, somewhere around 1988,
Okay.
with a life cycle. That was the, I believe, the first
remember.
CGS Even album. Was that your official debut album?
Yeah, it was. This was the first album, our first record contract, and yeah, proud moment in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you? I mean, what were you doing before you joined CGS Even? Were you in a band or anything?
Well, this was when I started playing guitar. I had my buddy from school, and he was playing drums. I was playing guitar. I thought I was playing guitar, but we really weren't that capable of playing the instruments. But this was a little of what we thought was a band. But the real first band was Sieges Even, and I knew the guys from like I don't know 12, 13 years old. I was playing soccer with Oliver, the bass player, and so this was our real first band, and we did our first demos back in 1984, 85, I think. Yeah, and Life Cycle was the first album with a record contract. That
Okay, so you had a few years before already.
Yeah, this was more practicing. We had some first concerts and little shows here in Munich, and before that, but things got serious when we got the record contract with SPV Records in Germany.
If you well fast forward to today and look back, then it's like I think 37 years, and you have about 11 studio albums in your discography. Well, maybe 12 with the solo album in it. I don't know if I counted that one. But how do you look back on everything you've accomplished?
You know, I think, of course, when I listen to Life Cycle, this is like, well, okay, it's not the music that I dig anymore, but I'm still proud of it, you know, because it was a very important time in all our lives, because we learned a lot. We were practicing like 4 or 5 times a week, you know, we were like real maniacs, and this was those were the formative years, you know. We really learned to play together, and and so it was it's a very important time of our lives and in our development as musicians and artists, and also the following album Steps and Sense of Change. This was I remember. All I can remember is us practicing all the time. You know, and hey, we have to become more complicated and more, and let's try this, and no one will understand how. I don't care, and so this was our spirit then. So we didn't care what people were thinking, you know. But that was good, and I think this. Is still the spirit that I have within me. I write the music for myself, and of course, I'm glad if people like it, and it's of course very makes me prouder. And but I write for myself. That's the point. And this was like 40 years ago, and it's like I write today.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned, you know, the formative years. You learned a lot that you could use over time. In all these years, what's the most crazy thing you've ever experienced in your musical life?
In my, I experienced a lot of crazy things. I mean, the crazy things happen most on tour, you know, when things get rough, and when you think a show won't happen, and because of technical problems and stuff. And you're standing on stage and the sound is off. I remember one of the most embarrassing moments was when we played with CGS Even, the Rock Hard Festival. So, well, a big festival in Germany, from Rock Hard magazine, and you know, we had no sound check, nothing, and you go on stage, and you switch on the amplifier, and there was only a clean signal, you know. No distortion, nothing, and this was like 50 minutes playing with this sound, you
Hmm.
know. And this was so to me. I had it in my in ear, and this was horrible. And the funny thing is, no one no one noticed it, you know, because Oliver, our bass player, was so loud on stage, and he had to like he played his bass sometimes like a guitar, and so he had so much power on it. So I played with this clean sound, and this was to me 15 minutes of really. Well, I was so embarrassed, but no one really noticed. Was a great
Okay.
show though, and something to really to remember, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but you have to. There's something you have to deal with those moments because it's like you cannot run off stage and
no.
just you have to go through it and well you learn something.
Yeah, I mean, in the studio you have at least, control and you can stop and you
Like,
can do something. But when you're on
exactly. Yeah,
stage,
so
the show
it's
must go
like
on.
yeah,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah. When it comes to playing live, I mean, what would you prefer to do? Record in the studio or be out there on stage?
I mean, it's different, you know, as a playing live and studio, it's totally different. I enjoy both. And because life is more, you know, you have more the energy and you can foresee things. You don't know what happens, how the crowd will react and how you're playing. You know, it's always different. You're not deliver each and every night like the night before. You know, it's like yeah, it's like an adventure. You know, you never know what happens, and this is I think that's the thrill of playing live. And in the studio, I think this is the great thing that you try things out, and even if you have a song like for 2 years, not in demo version, and then you record it in studio, and you have the ability to yeah, maybe add some strings or whatever, and some comes out of it that you haven't in mind before. So it's also very exciting for me. So I enjoy both worlds. I don't prefer one over the other. It's
We talked a lot about you guitar playing and your classical guitar playing, which is a huge influence on you. But what guitar players are an influence on you, or what were like your heroes musically?
well as for the electric guitar, I think I started playing guitar because I wanted to be like Angus Young, you know this. And it wasn't the playing, but I love the music, but it wasn't the playing, but it was his acting on stage and something that is drew me into this rock music scene. But as a musician and the way he approached the guitar was Alex Lifeson and from Russia um, on the from the fusion scene like Alan Holdsworth. Those were the guys who really admired and were huge influence. And on the other hand, the classical guitar was the reason why I started playing classical guitar was the British guitarist Julian Bream, who passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately. But when I heard him playing the tone and this musicality, I saw him live once, and this was something I will never forget. Yeah, I mean the audience was like, Jesus Christ, what's happening? It was yeah, it was magic, you know. And
Yeah,
yeah, those were the guys who inspired me a lot. And now, of course, a lot of musicians even today that I really like, and so much music around, and yeah, a lot of inspiration
yeah,
flowing. Yeah.
yeah. Something I've always been a little bit curious about coming to guitars. I mean, there are a lot of different brands. There are a lot of guitarists that are endorsed
Mhm.
by a certain brand.
Mhm.
How important is a brand of guitar? Do you use a specific brand of guitar, for example?
Well, I'm not that guy who's just collecting stuff. I have only from the electric guitars I play Music Man, but because they, I'm used to it and I love playing them. They're really great sounding guitars, and uh, I'm not like that. Hey, have you heard the new Les Paul? And I don't know. This is something that simply doesn't interest me that much. The instrument has to work, and if it sounds great, and if I can play on it well, I have no problem in switching to another brand. It's not like I have to play Music Man or I have to play this and the stuff. Um, um, but now, I think since CG's Even days, the navigating days, I'm only using the Music Man guitars.
Yeah, because that's something that works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have now also an eight-string Ibanez guitar, and which is also very good. And yeah, as I said before, it's I'm not focused on any specific brand.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always curious if it even matters. If it matters what kind of guitar you play, or is it in the end the guitarist that
At
creates the
least
music?
the only thing that matters has at least seven strings.
Okay, and why is that?
Yeah, because most of the songs are only working with seven strings.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So that's the important one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
seventh string.
When you, I mean, what I gather from what you're saying is, you work on on Subsignal music. Sometimes you work on your classical music. Are there moments where you don't work on any music and you do something completely different?
Yeah, I have a life.
Okay,
But
it's not
but
just
but
all
but
the way music.
yeah, but most of the time it's music, because I
Okay.
make my money. I'm teaching. I'm guitar teacher and a music teacher, and so I'm always yeah, connected to musical stuff, not only progressive or classical stuff, but I have to play something different, even pop music and stuff like that. So. But I really liked it because it widens your horizon, and you're not only stuck in your stuff,
Yeah.
you're not bathing in your melancholy, and and sometimes it's good to get a different perspective from that.
Yeah. Is that maybe also why you have all these amazing influence in the music? I mean, when you listen to a Subsignal album, it doesn't matter which one. It's not just, I would say standard progressive rock or something. There are always these different influence in it. I mean, for me, most notably, it's still I think one of my absolute favorite songs,
Yeah.
A New Reliance, which
I remember.
had this completely not prog influence in it, but I loved it very much, and I hear that with a lot of other albums as well. So,
Mhm.
is yeah, could that be
Yeah,
the reason?
yeah, the thing is, when you listen to those tracks like a New Lines, there's also the influence by Arno, how he arranges his stuff, and most of the stuff. This particular song was written by Arno actually, and also like what the David Bertog, our keyboarder, did on the first albums. He had also some influences concerning the arrangements and the keyboard parts. So, and everyone, each of us comes from a different area, and yeah, if you throw it together, something like Subsignal comes out. And it's not only me, it's of course I am responsible for most of the music, but you shouldn't underestimate the influence of like persons like Arno, and even the
Hmm.
drums. Yeah, I mean the way Dirk is doing his stuff, and it's like it's a band. It's still
Yeah,
and of course I'm the main songwriter, but I still want to see it as a band. This is I throw my ideas in, and I don't say you have to play it like this. It's like yeah, everyone can contribute, and this constant process of yeah, adjusting, and then something like a new reliance comes out. And but I think this in that song you have reggae influences, you have the AOR influences, you have great keyboard parts and stuff. Um, think you have to be open, it's there's only good and bad music, It's- that's
Yeah.
it.
The secret sauce of Subsignal.
Yeah.
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 No, it's. I want to thank you, Markus, for taking the time to have a chat. It
Yeah.
was a lot of
Thanks for
fun.
having me.
I've been looking forward to
Always.
this for a long time.
Me too.
Yeah, and well, of course, I'm really curious to what the future will bring, how the new album will sound, who the new singer will be. It's
Yeah.
all exciting things to look forward to. So for now, next to well, again, thank you. I want to wish
Thank
you a lot of good luck and a lot of fun
You too, Marcel.
in the upcoming time, and looking forward to the new album.
Me too.
But the wind carries off from the street again.